All personnel, clear the launch platform.
All personnel, clear launch platform.
Disneyland is your land.
The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Disneyland is your land.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello, and hello. Welcome to the Leaving Today podcast, episode number 234. 234. Thank you so much for joining us today on this special show. My name is Mark. I'm one of the co-hosts here of the LTP. Sitting to the right of me is the very handsome Trail Master of Puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sitting to the left of me via FaceTime. What's the word we're going to use for Becky today?
I don't know.
What is the?
It was lovely.
Us, yes, the very lovely Becky. Hey, Becky.
Hello, I missed you guys, and I'm a little bit offended you had to think so long to call me lovely, but
Oh yes,
okay.
yes. I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different word.
I told Mark to take a note, and I thought he did. Clearly,
Yeah.
He just put it lovely. I'm gonna get a coaster and just put lovely right there. That way, we can look down and he'll know.
I was thinking of glorious. I was thinking of glorious and other words, adjectives, but we need to stay with lovely, right? Yes, lovely. Okay. And sitting next to Becky via FaceTime is our special guest today, and maybe not going to be a guest. He might be someone that shows up once in a while, but he's a really good guy. He's been on the show before. This is a mental mouse. What's up, dude?
Hey, how are you? Good to see you guys.
It is great to see you, man. It is great to see you.
We are very excited.
Yeah.
I am as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about something the other day, and we have 10 years coming up in a couple months on this show, which we're going to do a special 10th year anniversary show, which is, I cannot believe we're doing that. But one of the things that I've come to like and really, really grateful for is having guests on the show, like a mental mouse. And I mean, there's other people that they're in my contacts on my phone, and often I'll just chat with them. Hey, how's it going today? Oh, great. Or they'll talk, like I'll talk to Terrence, I'll talk to Marcus, I'll talk to Fernando. I've chatted with Jerome a couple times, but I mean, it's just nice. We're not doing a show. It's a Wednesday afternoon, and sometimes they'll reach out to me, and I'm like, how cool is this that people that I've actually never really met. I've met Fernando and Marcus, of course, but through the show that we can just talk to. And now we've got this cool guy that we're gonna talk to today again. And I know that when we go down there, we're gonna hang out and have drinks. And then Conductor as well is another guy. Theme park conductor is another guy I mean, it's just great. It's just, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling.
It's really all part of the larger Disney community.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right, Jerome. And it's just great community to be in. And when I tell people the podcast, they look at me sideways, and I understand. But what they don't understand is it's such a cool community of people.
Yeah.
Well, no, I get it all the time. I mean, in my line of work, one, I bring up that I do a podcast, right? And
I can imagine in your.
They already look at me like, you do what? And they kind of joke, and then they go, oh, okay, well, okay, what's it about? And I go Disneyland, and then they really, like, their head does a full crank over, like, what? Because to look at me on a job site, I'm, boots.
I would say
I got a hard hat, all the stuff, tattoos.
Yeah, I would say your podcast is probably about guns.
Right. If you look at me, it's like guns, or I'm screaming around,
true crime.
Yeah, true crime, or
motorcycles,
or
Metallica.
I'm running around with the flag is upside down, screaming, with my hair on fire.
Yes, you do all that too.
I would assume people would think that, but no, I say Disneyland, they go, what? And I'm like, well, how? And then I try to, if they feel like, if I feel they really want it, like, genuinely interested,
yeah,
I'll explain to them this is what we're talking about. I said, dude, if you get into it and you meet these people, I go, I have met some of the coolest
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
doing this. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I met authors, I met this.
Yeah,
and
oh my gosh.
Imagineers and just other podcasters and book writers. I mean, it's just amazing. They're like, really? I go, I met the lady who, the Haunted Mansion. Oh yeah, that wallpaper. I met her and interviewed her. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. How is that?
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And then like it's Jerome here. It's just another like just proving the point, building the community over and over and over, and just expanding. So whatever negativity some people have towards Disney, I actively work as like no, like go one layer deeper, and you're gonna see like whatever is on the surface. You go one layer deeper, you're gonna see how many thousands and thousands upon thousands of great people are actively in it, and how we all can just all like mind meld and come together under it.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
And it really is the ultimate diverse group. It doesn't matter the race, the age, it does not matter.
Yeah.
No,
That's
you're right.
very true.
Yeah.
And that is what I keep on saying. I will say it over and over again. I'll probably say it in this podcast at some point again. The unifying things that bring people together is what we need to rally around. And Disney for us is that.
Yep.
So that is the explanation point that I try to give. Is like when you can rally around positivity, all the other things are left at the door. Politics, religion, whatever. All that is, you enter the gate. You've forgotten. Instant forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people tune into the show because I want to talk about Disneyland. So sorry we got derailed a little bit, but just a little bit of housekeeping there. Just a moment of gratitude, I suppose. Today's show is sponsored by you, the listeners. If you'd like to help us out, you can go to leavingtodaypodcast.com, click on the support tab, and we make it super simple. There's a Patreon link there. And for that, you get to be on the show. You get some swag. And you get to help keep this thing going. And what we do with the funds, we use them for hosting fees, and sometimes we buy new gear. And that's really what it goes towards doing. It helps us out. And we also have t-shirts. Yeah. Okay. And again, real quick, if you're listening to the show, I want to say thank you so much for listening to podcasts. We're independent creative arts. We are just doing this because we love talking about it. And whether it's this podcast or any other podcast, just know that the people that are doing it are because they love it. All right.
Yep. And then I won't go into it because I barely just said what I usually say. Just we're better together, and these are one of the things. So thank you for taking your time and listening to us. And the more we do that, the better we are together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, today's show, we've got an exciting lineup for you. We've got Jerome with us, a mental mouse. And he's going to be doing the news, but we're also going to announce a new segment today, the top 10 secrets of whatever land. And today we're going to start off with Main Street USA. So that's going to be our feature presentation. We said 10 secrets, but maybe we can get a little more out of a mental mouse today. Well, he's always got a bunch of information that blows me away. It's great. I love it. But let's start off with an opening question, and I believe the very lovely Becky has an opening question.
Well, thank you. Yes. So I was on Instagram this week, and as I'm sure most of you can imagine, most of what comes up for me is going to be related to kids, and it's going to be related to Disneyland or Disney in general.
Sure.
So something popped up, and it was a mom who posted pictures of her child at Disneyland, a first trip. And the child was probably, I would say, about 18 months old. And he didn't look happy on any of he was on the carousel. He just had a kind of a grumpy, scared expression. and he was by the castle. It's with the same thing. But it was funny. And how I took the post is she said something like, oh, clearly enjoying his first trip to Disneyland. That sort of thing.
Sure.
And I started to read the comments. And people were very divisive on what age you should take your child and if it's selfish to take them at a young age. And I was curious what all of your thoughts were. And I will say I'm not going to be offended by any of your thoughts. I know that I have young children, but say however you feel. But do you feel that there is a certain age you should go or would be better to go? And do you feel like it's inappropriate at any age to take your child.
Well, I have my response.
Okay.
Anybody else? I mean, whoever. I don't have to go first.
Well, let's let.
I personally think 18 months is totally fine. I would probably use maybe 1 year old as the, anything less than 1 year old. And not because I don't think that it's bad for them, but they're just not going to really get or appreciate, what's around them.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm the way I look at it, the first trip I remember personally, I was about 5 to 6 years old. I know technically my first trip, my mom always says this, was when I was still, I wasn't born yet. She walked the park with me, and literally it was like 3 days later, 4 days later, something like that, I was born. Like, that's
wow.
So a lot of that, I mean, maybe that helps program to me why I'm like, hey, like the sounds are something that was like in her womb, like picking up Disney sounds. But to me, I agree with Jerome that it isn't a thing of like age appropriate or inappropriate. Whatever the parent, like, obviously if the kids are too young, but I'd say a year, but definitely when you're doing that, you're doing it for you, not for the child. The child isn't going to remember any of that. Maybe you can kind of put an impression on them at that point, and but other than that, yeah. So I don't understand. The other part of me is I don't understand why people would care. Like, I mean, why does it matter? If he's not liking it, he's 18. That's on the parent, not on anything. So
18 months.
18 months. That's what. Yeah, 18 months.
Yeah.
So why put anything on it? I let him go have fun. If he enjoyed it, he enjoyed it. He didn't, and that can be whatever.
Yeah.
So it's up to the parent, 100%. So I don't know why people would get mad about it.
No.
It's weird. People get mad about the weirdest things.
Sure.
I definitely agree with that. I think it's kind of whatever works for the family.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree that if you're going at a young age, we did take our oldest when she was almost 1, and it was more for us, but we wanted to enjoy being there. And we do have cute pictures that we will always remember,
sure.
Which
Yeah.
is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely as she's gotten older, it's more fun to see her excitement around things and to enjoy it. So it's a different experience for sure.
And it really depends on what you're doing with the baby or something like they're not going to get the rides and stuff like that. But I've seen babies smile, when they're looking at Mickey Mouse or, Pluto or any of them. They just get a kick out of that.
Right.
Yeah.
It is kind of what you make it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer for that. I don't think it's really up to the parents, and it's like when we go, I'm not paying attention to what other people are doing with the kids. I'm kind of doing my own thing. It doesn't really bother me. I'm just trying to think. I was looking at my phone because I had to do my dates right. We took the first time we took the girls was April 12th, 2003. And I know that because it was a Friday, and it was back when you could buy 3 days, get a 4th day free thing. And the Main Adventures of Winnie the Pooh opened up on Thursday. It was dumping rain, and it closed down. But that wasn't the story. It finally opened on Friday, the first day we got there. And my youngest daughter was 2. And my older daughter was almost 5. And my younger one has no memory of any of it. Even now, she has no idea, even though there's pictures. But, of course, Annika has a lot of memories about it. And the only thing that was kind of bad was that one daughter could do things, and the one felt like, oh, I can't do those yet. So there was that.
Yeah.
She wasn't tall enough or didn't seem interested enough to do it. But even though she has no memory of it, I can tell you she was pretty happy. I mean, she was happy having treats and popcorn and snacks and just looking at lights and fireworks. That was all part of it. That was fun. But she couldn't do Indy, and she was upset about that. She could do Matterhorn though, And that was,
wow.
she has no memory of that, but she definitely sat next to me or in front of me or something.
Yeah, that would have been in front.
It was dumping rain, and it was great.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't think there's a wrong answer. And it's funny how, people can make comments behind, Instagram pages and never really have any responsibility for it. They just say stuff, and it's like, well, you wouldn't say that to me in real life, I bet.
Yeah, that's very true. Especially when it does come to parenting.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion.
And kids are free up until 3, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go, hey, you know what? Let's get a babysitter for our, 1.5-year-old. Well, you and I go to the park today. Or, hell, let's just take our 1.5-year-old and spend 4 or 5 hours there.
Yeah.
Let them. There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a good opening question.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Okay. Any more questions before we kick this show off?
No.
Okay. Let's go. Then let's go to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
All right, first news item here is Walt Disney Imagineering shares Adventures Campus update at Disneyland. The Walt Disney Imagineering team shared a landmark construction update for the Adventures Campus expansion at California Adventure. They had a post on their Instagram page, and it reads, "Attention recruits, exciting progress in the expansion of Adventures Campus at Disney California Adventure Park. The canopy connecting the 2 attractions, Avengers Infinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab, is being assembled." And there's a picture of a bunch of Imagineers standing in front of the construction site with the 2 buildings linked by this canopy. The Adventures Campus expansion will add 2 new attractions to the land. I didn't know that. Stark Flight Lab and Avengers Infinity Defense. In the photos, the Imagineering team assembles in front of the framework for the 2 ride buildings, which are now connected by a canopy structure. We don't know a whole lot about this, but what we do know is that Infinity Defense is expected to be a 3D attraction using the same system as Peter Pan's Neverland adventure in Tokyo Disney Sea. Guests will join Marvel superheroes as they jump across the multiverse, battling King Thanos, an alternate version of the villain who won. The second new ride will be Stark Flight Lab, with Robert Downey Jr. returning as Tony Stark / Iron Man / Dr. Doom. Guests will board gyrokinetic pods that are lifted into the air by robotic KUKA arms for flight tests.
You're gonna love that one, Mark.
Yeah, so that is the first news item we have. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you, seeing the construction in person,
Yes, sir.
it is absolutely amazing how quickly it's going up, and it looks great. It's going to be such a cool addition to DCA. It's really amazing. I mean, the whole structure of the building is done, and it's. I hate to say it, but it's almost very un-Disney-like the way that how quickly the construction's going.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is, Metal Mouse?
Why it's going so quickly?
Yes.
I think there's, especially with the latest news on financials from Disney, I think there's some pressure on really expanding that park and getting some growth going.
Yeah.
I agree 100% on that.
When you look at the looking at the few pictures I've seen now, looking at the ironwork, I said it before that the iron guys that I've worked around are another breed. These guys, when you put them to the task, they will dig themselves into a hole to achieve. So if they have looking at it, it's all metal framework, and that stuff with the right crew should go up this fast. And so usually what I've seen in the past has been, for whatever reason going slowly. I don't get why any of the builds that they do predominantly go slowly. So this being the metal frame and everything, so now I'm going to be curious to see how they will progress from this moment forward. That being said, this is awesome. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think you guys are both right, and I think there are some timelines that they probably are under, and they're also they're seeing what like Universal is doing, and saying we've got to catch up somehow. You know, we have this date of the Olympics in 2028, so we need to kick everything into gear. And I think I mentioned this before that whoever the next president is of Disney, I hope they can remove all these layers of middle management and decisions and just get. I mean, there's one thing about planning, but just get boots on the ground and start building stuff. You know what I mean? There's planners and then there's doers, and I think they need more doers.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. What do you,
No, I agree completely with that. Yeah.
But like you said, I'm stoked for this. I'm not a huge Avengers person, but I love that we have new experiences coming, and you know, I think it's going to be great. Honestly, yeah. Okay, any thoughts on that, Becky?
Well, I think the same thing. It'll do nothing but improve that area. I'm excited for the technology that they're bringing too, like with the 3D attraction that's like the Pan in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be something new for us, and that's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I'm so stoked for this.
Yeah.
So one last thought about this Metal Mouse is that, let's say they start turning on the engines to get Coco up and running as well. And there's a timeline, and I know I haven't asked you this, but I've asked Udi and a couple other people this. Let's say they're getting close to having both of these attractions done for Avengers Campus and Coco almost at the same time. Would you, as a guest, as a fan, would you want them to open all three like in the same week, or would you rather go, oh, Coco's going to come online first, and let's give, even though the other two are very close, let's give Coco like a month or two by itself and let it, open up, marinate among the fans, and then we'll open Avengers Campus? Or would you rather have all three, or what is your thought on that?
No, I definitely would like them to open it when whatever is ready. I mean, why not extend the hype as long as you can? Because if you open all at one time, you'll get, a big bang out of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll fade. If you open them up as soon as they're ready, and if it's individual,
Mm-hmm.
you just extend that excitement across each opening.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I think you said the same thing.
No, I was to the contrary. You brought that up. My mind was, no, man, make it one big massive boom to highlight what they're doing. I think my way of thinking was, Disney needs wins right now, and how not better to show to not only the fans but to their, more importantly, their stockholders.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing things, and so we're gonna blow this up and go bam, and then see what we did here. We're now gonna do that there, and there.
Okay.
So I while I get the mentality of like stretching it out, like, because that's not a bad plan either.
Yeah.
For me, I'm more of like, this is time to like demonstrate, to kind of pull people back in. It's like, this is what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we were known for doing. We've admittedly faded from that, but here, let us show you what Disney can do and why we are the top dog. Bam, there you go. Big massive expansion to DCA, and then go, so now we're going to do this in Florida now, and now we're going to, and then I in my blue sky way of thinking, I would love if they did that and said, by the way, now here's what we're going to do with Disney Forward, and this is going to be a demonstration of how we're going to move forward. Now, would they do that? I don't know. Probably not, but yeah.
I also think too that this is an example as well of, you are further from the park, where Jerome is local, and so you can be there for everything. Whereas somebody who is further, sometimes we have to think, oh, okay, would we go when everything is done, or are we going to be able to make multiple trips?
Yeah, no. Yep. Yeah.
From that perspective,
sure.
Not from the actual business perspective, of course.
And that really is an important distinction.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, the locals get to go there, once a week, once a month, whatever. So having something new all the time is very exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I bet,
For sure.
Yeah. And if Disney did it that way, where they slow roll each one out, I wouldn't be. I would get a little like, man, I that means I'm gonna have to make more trips. So I get that.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go again. But yeah, the way a local who lives down there, it makes sense, and I actually enjoy when Disneyland does things that kind of give the local community a shout out, because that is their bread and butter. They are the people who keep that park and have kept that park, and the company, when going through it, afloat, has been those people. So yeah, I mean, if they were like, no, we're going to take care of our locals, so we're going to roll it out so that they can keep on coming, I'd be like, all right, go for it. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just curious. I mean, it could work in both ways. I mean, I like both answers. I just know that, like, if we were part of TDA and we go, okay, Coco, it is good to launch on December 1st. Okay. But we've got Adventures Campus. The two attractions are going to be ready right after, like, New Year's. You would say let's wait till New Year's for all three?
I would. That's me.
Okay.
That's me. I would.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now, because you're going to get too worked up with this next news item. And this next news item is I only threw it on just to get Udi worked up.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know that this is actually going to come here, but here we go. Domestic Disney parks may move to constantly fluctuating dynamic ticket prices. Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort may implement constantly fluctuating dynamic ticket pricing that changes based on demand. Disney's senior executive VP and CFO Hugh Johnson spoke about the possibility with Stephen Cahall during a Wells Fargo's 9th annual TMT Summit. We're actually investing in creating a dynamic pricing, Johnson said. We're doing it in Paris right now. We've been doing it for about a year. It's off to a very good start, but we're really going to make sure we optimize it before we bring it to the domestic parks. So it's probably something that you won't see this year, but you may see in the subsequent years. The dynamic pricing system means tickets would change in price based on the live demand from guests. So ticket prices for a single day would not remain fixed. It could change whenever. They could get higher if more guests are buying tickets for that day, or even drop if tickets aren't selling. The system was introduced in Disneyland Paris last November. Okay, what are your thoughts on this? Jerome, you want to lead this parade? Or
I guess I'll go first, because I know Udi will be worked up. I don't know that it totally bothers me, only from the perspective of when I'm going down there, I'm buying a multi-day pass anyway, so I don't think that it would affect that. I'm not sure though. So I don't know that I really would feel affected. Well, personally, I wouldn't, but I don't know that it bothers me. Like, I guess I think, okay, say you're local and you don't have an annual pass or a Magic Key, maybe, I don't know, you're looking at pricing, and when you see that it is a lower price, you just decide to go. But I guess it's also saying in real time, so it could change during the day, the actual day itself that you want to go.
Yeah, but what doesn't jive? Well, to me, a lot of this doesn't jive. But if I'm getting the strong indication that Disney is discouraging impromptu visits to the park. Yeah. Like, hey, it's Sunday morning. The four of us are talking. Let's go to Disneyland. Sure. Well, they don't let you do that as easy as we need to have a reservation. So if I go, I don't have a reservation, and so I don't understand how the reservation system works with this. They seem to be going against each other, because I go, oh, well, if I can't get in today, what does it matter if the price is fluctuating? And if you've already bought a ticket for that day, they're not going to go, oh, Jerome, let's see, you scan in, and let's say you don't have a Magic Key. Oh, you paid $140. Actually, it's going to go to $165 today. They're not going to charge you another $15 to get into the park. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I don't think they can do that.
I don't think they can.
Well, maybe this means that the reservation system would go out.
I would think so.
Yep.
Mental Mouse, what is your thought on this?
So, From a big picture standpoint, it's a proven model. You see it in hotels, you see it in airlines.
Sure.
I mean, they change on a daily basis. I I think it would work with the reservation system in that, I see days that are sold out. At least Magic Keys can't book it. Okay.
Yes.
And in turn, that might be the highest price that they're charging for that day for single tickets. Conversely, if the day is open, even on that day, I see the reservation open all day. Why not discount the ticket or use the lowest tier to really try to maximize that given day?
Sure.
It's not something that they have to use every day, so they don't have to feel like. Well, it really goes back to I think it works with the reservation system.
Oh, it does. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to do like a real time use case. So, let's say it's. Go ahead, Becky.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Well, I just don't know how it works. I mean, it's like I said, it's Sunday, and the three of us are visiting a mental mouse. Hey, mental mouse, let's go to the park. And then you check for the reservations. Yes, it's all open. So, but what's the price?
Well, I think though it would show the price, but to kind of to what Jerome said is okay. So when we're going to look at an airline ticket or we're booking a hotel, you look and you see the hotel, but maybe 2 days later you decide to book the hotel and the price has changed. I don't think it's going to be a situation where you look at it that day and want to go that exactly the day you're looking. We wouldn't look on Sunday and it changed 3 times on Sunday, but you may look on Sunday and say we want to go the following week. That day might be changing depending on how many people are booking. So it kind of could encourage you to get your ticket right away if you see a price, or you could also check the next week, kind of like you would a hotel, or say we're booking a hotel for Christmas time at Disneyland. Well, we know that it's more expensive than say we're going to go the first week of November or something that's not in a peak time where they're doing something.
Yeah.
But I don't think your reservation's not going to change. So when you lock in your rate, you just locked in your lower rate. Or you book an airline ticket now for Christmas, it's a different price than somebody who booked theirs in July for Christmas. They're not asking them to change their price.
Yeah. Right, but I guess I'm trying to be an advocate for the customer, and there is a spot for the customer that doesn't want to book a lot of things in advance. Okay, there's believe me, there's a lot of people who aren't into Disneyland like us. So imagine if it's confusing for me, how is it going to be for them? I just want to go to the park on Tuesday. Well, Disneyland's making it awfully difficult for that customer, that important customer, to go. It just because
you think from a perspective of them being able to budget or know what their cost is going to be.
Just go. I can't walk up to the ticket booths because those are mostly all gone.
Yep. Or
I'm going to wait 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get into the line to get a ticket, which is going to burn that much time away from the park. If I get there at 8, am I standing in line until 9:30? Well, the park's been open for an hour and a half. What is going on here?
Well,
and now we've got a fluctuating price. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm reading it wrong, but
I think you're spot on.
Doesn't seem like who's ever concocting this is thinking about the customer, the guest experience.
They're not.
Because I'm only getting frustrated with it, and it's okay. Anyways, we've not heard from you yet.
Well, so I want to take everybody's opinions because it's always good to obviously to do that.
Sure.
And what Jerome brought up being that it is a proven model, 100%.
Yes,
we're
I
all
agree.
very, very, very accustomed to dealing with that. Anytime you travel, you're going to deal with that fluctuating price. Now, but I'm in your camp, Mark, because my biggest thing that we've been talking about for quite some time is the complexity of going to Disneyland to go have a good time, and how Disney has made it complicated to go have a good time in their park for many, many, many reasons. I mean, we talked about it with Conductor last episode.
Yeah.
So while I, at one level, am not really kind of like freaking out, like, oh, how could they do this? Because they're a corporation. They have to make the money.
Sure.
And I get that.
Sure.
And I get that. But I think the problem is that it is adding yet another layer onto what is already a very complicated process just to walk in the gate. So my concern is with you, Mark. Exactly what yours is. You're not thinking about the customer. You're adding things in, and you don't know when this is. So it begins to create anxiety to an extent of like, oh, at what price am I going to get in the why wouldn't they just give you a stable model? Like, these are the ticket prices. This is what it's going to be. I'm wondering, does Universal do this? I don't know.
But don't they already have different days that prices? I mean,
they've been doing that. Yeah, they've been doing that now.
And that's fine. So what's this other layer of nonsense?
Yeah, exactly my point. Like, I get seasonally, we're all aware during certain times of the year, things will vacillate in price, go up, go down, and this is no different. But for it to be so, the way this is being, I'm taking it, and the way I see it is it's going to be a much quicker, and the fluctuations are going to be moving in real time. And it's like, why add that into any of it? Why what I personally see down the road is going to be a customer service nightmare, because what if you buy your ticket at X dollar and then you go back and they're like, oh look, they dropped the price. I'm going to be calling Disney going, I want that price because you dropped it and now I paid that. And
yeah,
they're not going to go the other way. But
on the other hand, you're not going to say, "Oh, you guys raised the prices. Let me give you another $30."
But that's what I'm telling you. That is what I'm saying. It's not going to go that way.
No.
But 100%, a customer is going to be like, "Hey, you dropped the price. I want the lower price." That is the way customer service works. You know this. Anybody who's working customer service, you all know how that works. They're going to complain. I'm not saying I would or you would or anybody at right now would, but there are going to be people, and I just think you're opening your door to just another layer of complexity and frustration, and it's not, and is it really necessary? That's another question that I have is it really necessary? Just because you can doesn't mean you should, and that's the way I feel about this. It's okay, sure, you can, but why, and should you?
Because I have an MBA and I need to justify my degree.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, see,
I'm being mean.
Yeah, no, but seriously, so I think that this is they're going to end up implementing it, because that you can just see the focus of Disney has been for the last decade.
Okay.
This is the kind of stuff they're doing. So are they going to implement it? Most likely. And then we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll let the public decide.
Yeah, it'll get thrown on the wall, and we'll see what sticks.
The bottom line is, like we discussed before, it is 100% a financial decision.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think that they're doing it to make the customer experience easier in any way.
No. Well, I just want to, since we're in this realm real quick, I just want to drop something real quick. Last episode we talked about how with the complexity, and this ties in, how now we're beginning to take like the workload, like with the phones, and how that now the workload is customers in. And I thought about it after we recorded that show, and I was thinking about it, and then our good friend Skittle Muffin Seth sent me a DM saying, that in California there's a lot of things with law, with employment law and labor law, that is probably pushing Disney here in our park specifically to try to get more automated, because they're in the state, it's being more and more difficult to actually have boots on the ground because of everything else that gets thrown on top of just hiring from the legal point of view and for labor law and work requirements. And that made sense to me. So this could be yet another layer of all that. So yeah, it is a business. All these things are tied into the money aspect of it, and we get that. I just don't see that this is going to go well for the customers. I just don't see it. I could be completely wrong, but like I said, they'll throw it at the wall and we'll see what sticks.
Yeah. Okay. This will be a topic on LTV Lounge.
Yeah, no, and this is a top, but this is always going to be the fine line, right? What we want and enjoy, and how we enjoy the park versus what they want to do financially. That give and take, and that up and down with this. Yeah.
Yes. Any final thoughts on this engaging topic?
We could be there for a while, yeah.
I mean, I would be curious to kind of look around at Paris's website and just kind of see like how often the prices are changing or
Yeah.
how that's going.
Yep.
I'd be interested.
Okay. So the next news item is Disney announces dates and details for the 2026 Disneyland After Dark series. Becky, what are those events coming up for this next year?
So returning first, we've got Disneyland After Dark Sweethearts Night, which is going to be some dates at the very end of January.
Okay.
And going from February 3rd to the 17th on, looks like there's 6 nights in February.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have 70 Years of Favorites,
Oh.
which will, be making its appearance March 3rd and 5th, 2026.
Okay.
Then we have Disney Channel Night with some dates in April.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Night coming in May. April and May, actually.
Okay.
And then Pride Night, which will be June 16th and 18th.
Awesome. Okay. So, Jerome, what do you think about these Disneyland After Dark events?
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
My wife and I have gone to Sweetheart Night like three years in a row.
Awesome.
And I really and also Oogie Boogie, which is the big monster.
Sure. No pun intended.
We enjoy those after hour events.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I've never been to one. Actually, no, that's not true. I've been to the Villains Night. It was a Tuesday, and my daughters and I made a special. We had planned to go down there, and we went to. It was really fun. But for the most part, since we're in Northern California, like a Tuesday and Thursday, it's going to be very hard for us to do that unless we do some, extreme scheduling. But of those 5 that are mentioned tonight, or that Becky just mentioned, which one are you planning to go to the one next year? Any of them, or?
We were just talking about it because they go on sale, I think, pretty soon.
Yeah.
We may skip Sweetheart Night this year, but I'm very interested in that 70th anniversary night.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
the description of that is turn back time with fan favorite Disneyland offerings from the last 70 years. It's the ultimate celebratory party, 70 years in the making.
Oh.
Yeah, and only 2 nights. So
yeah,
that's gonna go. Like
there's 2 nights for that.
Yeah. The 3rd,
What?
Yeah, that will sell out.
Oh, yeah.
You better be in the queue hoping.
Yep.
Yeah. The only people I know that can get tickets for that maybe theme park conductor and a mental mouse. Those just because they pull.
I hope you can get. I hope you can get in. Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to have a report on that. So that's running 2 nights. Star Wars is running 2 nights. Pride Night is running 2 nights, and Disney Channel is running 2 nights.
It is actually running 3 nights.
And then the Sweethearts is 6 nights.
It is 6 nights in February
and
3 nights at the end of January.
So 9, okay.
And then
I'm guessing Sweethearts has probably been pretty popular.
Yes. Yeah, it always sells out.
Oh man, these are gonna.
Yeah, and they're actually gonna have Star Wars Night on May 4th.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
Is that a Saturday? Is it a Thursday? What day? This is May 4th.
Let me look.
That might be interesting. Again.
So I was kind of still in the Disney Channel
Monday night
generation, where we had, the little wands, watching Lizzie McGuire, and she would do her little, draw the mouse and stuff. So that one, I would like to go to that one as well.
Okay.
Be a little nostalgic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these are great, and I'm glad Disney's doing this. And like I said, you guys are right. These are going to sell out so fast.
Yep.
Metal Mouse, I'm going to ask you if they go, hey, do you have an idea for another Disneyland After Dark event? What would you say?
That's a good question.
We only ask the good questions here.
Yeah. They've done Princess Night. Clearly that wasn't as popular. They didn't bring it back. I don't know. I there's so much Disney that they can draw on.
Yeah.
Gosh, I couldn't even think of like a really attractive theme.
Mm-hmm.
I know I believe last year they did 90s night.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
And that looked fun. Of course, if you're in like the 90s generation or miss that time. But I think that they had a lot of Goofy movie during that time. And I would love to be there for that. Like with the Powerline concert. And I don't know if you guys have you ever watched a Goofy movie?
No.
Jerome?
No.
No. Oh, it's actually a really good movie. I do suggest watching it. But there's someone called Powerline in it, and it's a good like
I know who
family
Powerline is.
story. Yeah, of like dad and son. And anyways, it has really good music.
Okay.
I would like how can I put it, a Disney animation kind of thing. So celebrating, like going back to the classics all the way up, starting with Snow White and coming all the way up.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. I think, just having characters and but I want to go like into the vault. Go deep into the vault. Like,
yeah.
I think that'd be fun. I mean, you could do things with 101 Dalmatians, Aristocats.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into it, you go deep. You can do
Sure.
The Rescuers. I mean, you get on go deep into that, and then bring all that up. I think that would be fun. That would be fun to see characters that are kind of been forgotten, put in the back seat, in the back burner for a long, long, long time. Have them come out. You can go to Cauldron, the Black Cauldron. I mean, on and on and on. But yeah, I think that would be a fun one. Yeah.
I think I'd be down with like a 50s and 60s theme, but I know they've done it, but hear me out. Where they have a dress code where you got to dress like, like the Dapper.
Oh, I'd be down. I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
And the other caveat might piss people off, but I would be into it, is only have attractions and venues open that were there in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, yeah, no,
so you shut down.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
Oh.
I'd be mad.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, okay, so we're not doing Big Thunder. We're not doing that. That's offline. Space Mountain's offline. So you get Matterhorn. You get a lot of stuff.
I don't get my Rise. No, man.
No, there's no Galaxy.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever do it. They'll ever do that. But I was like, but then they could open up dancing on the Mark Twain with some live music.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I do love that.
And have shows at the Golden Horseshoe for that.
That would be great.
I mean, there's some people that are gonna go, wait a minute, I can't do whatever. No, you can't. You can't do those sort of things. But there's a majority of rides that are gonna be open. Honestly, I mean, all of Fantasyland's gonna be open except for Snow White. Maybe.
I think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get to really kind of reconnect with the opening day.
Yeah.
What it was to be back then.
Yep.
You know me. I'm always remember where you came from. Remember the tie. Why we have what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be. To be fair, I would go because I think it'd be interesting. I think I'd have a good time just because of how we feel about the park.
Yeah.
Would I want to go ride the other ones? Would I want to be on rides?
Sure. Sure.
100%. But yeah, that'd be awesome.
There's a lot of things you could do. I mean, actually, it's probably like maybe less than 10 that they'd shut down.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that much.
No, I mean,
I love that idea. I think that would be a huge hit. And you always hear bringing Walt back to the park. What a great way to do that.
Yeah, right? I didn't think about that. Yeah, totally.
Yep. That's
Could
amazing.
you imagine, though, the experience of dancing on the Mark Twain?
Oh, yeah.
Now you saying that just sounds so magical. Like, I wouldn't need everything to be open.
No.
Go do that.
You have
Agreed.
A live jazz band on there, and then bring the swing dancers back to,
Can you? Oh man, Mark, that is a brilliant idea. Because now, as I'm thinking more and more about it, like what a wonderful way to show people what the magic of the park is.
Yeah.
And why maybe some people would plug in a little bit deeper into why we are the way we are with that park, to really highlight all that.
Right. I mean, and honestly, I'm sure we can do it just real quick. What rides wouldn't be open? I mean,
it's a shorter list.
I mean, Space Mountain, Big Thunder,
TBA.
Well, all of that Bayou Country's gone.
Yeah.
It's all roped off.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, they literally just
there's 4
the rope right there,
and that's probably it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because you have the subs open. You've got Monorail was there, Matterhorn. It's a Small World. all of Fantasyland except for maybe Snow White's Scary Adventure because that wasn't there.
Yeah, I mean, you can make that argument.
You can make the argument, but everything else was there.
Yeah.
I can think of.
Indiana wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Indy's
right.
gone.
Indy's gone.
Toontown.
Well,
is
what to
gone.
say? Indy's like a one-on-one from that, anyways, which it probably would be.
Yeah, I'd probably be broken that day.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about Indy. But I mean, you could make a case for the Treehouse being open because that version was there.
I know that.
Swiss Family Robinson, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a whole lot. Main Street's humming along as it was. The railroad, monorail. I've said that.
All that.
I'm saying,
Oh man,
could be interesting.
I'm really liking that idea now.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, maybe I'll write them real quick.
Write him a very strongly worded email.
Yes. Now I'm getting. Yeah, man, this is awesome.
Mark is typing this.
Okay, let's see what the next news item brings. I don't even know what I put in here. What is this? 7 News of Favorites. Oh, we talked about stuff from. Hold on. Sorry. Next news item here is Disneyland filed a new permit to remodel Edelweiss snacks in Fantasyland in Disneyland. The permit details a new walk-up window, shade canopy, and outdoor dining structure. Permit entry, DLR, Fantasyland, Edelweiss Snacks, tenant improvement. Create new walk-up window for existing restaurant and install 168 square foot shade canopy and 518 foot square prefabricated structure for outdoor dining and new equipment enclosure with electrical. Yeah, I mean, the last time I was at Edelweiss Snacks, my daughters got some sort of, it was the Polish dog thing, and I had a bite, and I can't do that. But I like this area, and I'm glad that they're kind of expanding the seating. What do you think, Metal Mouse, about this?
Yeah, and where it's going to be, like right now, you have the cute little Edelweiss Snacks building.
Yes.
That's themed just like Matterhorn, and then behind it is where the seating is, but it's not themed or anything. It's the old loading zone for the motorboats. So it's just plain chairs and stuff like that. So just kind of theming that along would be really a win, I think.
Mm. Absolutely. This is great. This is a great design.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, and I know this is Mark's pipe dream here, is that when they shut down the Swiss Chalet for the fantasy end of the business for the Skyway, that elevated platform would have been great.
Oh yeah.
To have like a coffee shop or some, you could overlook the whole Fantasyland. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I don't know why they don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing. You could just literally put it up there and just have an open seating area.
Yeah.
Think about how crowded Fantasyland can get. You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, no, that view, I still remember it, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And what do you say, Becky? Is this a good idea?
I love it.
Okay.
I love the idea.
I love it too. All right, next news item is new poncho recycling bins added at Disneyland Park. Disneyland continues to add smart solutions to reduce waste and support sustainability throughout its theme parks. The theme park has recently introduced a simple new way for guests to make a positive environmental impact, and it's built right into the guest experience. Check these out. New poncho recycling bins were spotted at the exit of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Guests can now drop used ponchos into designated bins instead of throwing them away. The small change helps keep the ride area cleaner and supports improved waste management. A simple solution with a big impact. Look for these bins the next time you experience Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What do you guys think about that?
That, especially for the park, what was happening is people would get the ponchos, so they don't get soaked on Tiana's, and they would stack them up or throw them away in the trash can there, and inevitably what would happen is they'd be overflowing and things like that. And then it got to kind of a really cool part. Again, we talk about the community. People would stack them up where other guests could grab them to use.
Yep.
Oh,
so
awesome.
creating just a special area that facilitates that is a win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great.
No, that is an awesome thing. I'm glad they're doing that. But yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. It's like we've seen that where they.
Sure.
I remember when we went. I turned the corner. I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh, how cool is that? That people are like, hey, I'm not. I had my one-time use. I don't want to throw this away. Somebody can probably use it.
Yep.
Pick it up and use it. Yeah.
Metal Mouse, let me ask you this question. Using a rain poncho on Tiana's Bio Adventure or Grizzly River Run, is that cheating?
Cheater.
It is.
Cheater.
Yeah, okay.
Cheater.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I have cheated then because I went for my birthday last year. My birthday's in January, and Tiana's was open. It was cold, and I go, well, we got to go on this thing, but we had ponchos, and I go, man, I don't want to get caught wearing this, but I did because I just didn't want to get soaked, but I wanted to go on it. But that's the only time I've ever done it. Next time I do it, I will not be wearing a poncho because
that's what I was gonna say too. When I went in February, I did wear one because I just did not want to be cold the rest of the day. But then when I went in July, no,
Yes.
I was totally fine.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep, I'll 100% do it. In fact, I might go shirtless. Who knows? Go crazy.
Calm down.
Okay.
Calm down. Son.
All right.
Calm down.
Okay. I'm getting out of control here with this nonsense. Becky's daughter thinks that's a good idea
I know.
too.
I'm so sorry. There's something crazy going on in my house.
Okay. Next news item here. This is a little bit about Veterans Day. Just real quick, Disneyland commemorates Veterans Day with a special flag retreat ceremony. For 70 years, Disneyland has celebrated the American story and honored the men and women who make the country great through its flag retreat ceremony. Every evening at dusk, a patriotic procedure plays out in town square as Disneyland's flag is lowered. Often service members or veterans who are visiting the park that day are incorporated into the festivities. And then they just did a special thing in addition to that on Veterans Day. And I just wanted to also mention that crowds were around there and Dapper Dan sung and the Disneyland band also joined in the festivities. And I just want to say that even though they do that every day, they made it extra special for Veterans Day, and I think that's awesome. I love it. Love it. And yeah, so I wanted to make that statement. All right, and then last news item here is Disneyland will reopen a handful of popular attractions following seasonal refurbishments to help absorb holiday crowds as the Anaheim theme park resorts lifts the curtain on the Christmas season that's become the busiest time of the year. It's a Small World, Storybook Land Canal Boats, Casey Jr. Circus Train, and Redwood Creek Challenge Trail will return on the 14th, which is previous to the show. The kickoff date for the winter holiday season is that day. The 4 returning attractions join Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Mickey's PhilharMagic. They returned to the park the past 2 weeks following extended refurbishments. And all I'm just going to quickly say is that both Big Thunder has new. It's been updated a little bit, and Storybook Land Canal Boats has also been updated. Mental Mouse, have you been on both since they've been re-updated?
Yeah, I have. We just did Storybook Canal yesterday, and it's just the whole refurb is great. Like everything's fresh paint, and it just looks great. And
Awesome.
then the new addition of what is it, Rapunzel's Tower?
Yeah.
That's cute. They did a great job on it. And Casey Jr., I have not been on that one yet, but that one's all fresh paint, and it just looks fantastic.
Did you ride Storybook at night or day?
We were there like kind of 4:30, so it wasn't quite dark yet.
Okay, I just want to know how that.
That's a great time, though.
Yeah, that's a great time. I was just curious about how that tower is going to look at night, and I wonder if there's going to be lights around it or anything. Did they have that on there, or could you tell?
No, I couldn't tell.
Okay, well, I'm glad that that's good. I was worried about that because that's one of those things where you got to get this right, and I do trust them to get it right on that. Have you ridden Big Thunder since they've gotten rid of the water?
Yep. The big thing there is they changed out the goat. They did a great refurb on the goat.
Oh, what does the goat do now?
He chews the dynamite that he kind of stopped doing that for a while.
Okay.
And he just looks like, he looks all nice and fluffy and just refurbished.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
they did a good job on it.
Great.
I'm so stoked about that.
Yeah.
I love these things. Yeah. See all this bickering about prices, and here we're all giddy about little towers and goats. See what is going on in this crazy world we live in. All right, well, that's going to end the news. Now we're going to launch into our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right, LTP family. Of course, a Mental Mouse has been with us this whole episode. This is his second time showing up on the show. But we got together and we talked about, hey, maybe he can come on from time to time and do a segment, like the top 10 secrets of whatever land. And the idea is to go through all the lands, to have him just drop some information on us, just because he's got such a really good knack of telling us stories and giving secrets, and he's got a wealth of information, and I love learning. And he's just all around a great guy, and he agreed to do that. So today we're going to start with, like I said, we're going to go throughout the park, and hopefully DCA and maybe downtown Disney. Who knows? I have no idea what the Mental Mouse knows, but he probably knows a bunch of stuff about the downtown Disney as well. But today we're going to start at the beginning, which is Main Street, USA. All right. So without any further ado, Mental Mouse, let's get going with the segment. Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you want to do it? What would you like to talk about? You want to just kind of make a list of different historical or secrets of Main Street?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it has to be in order or anything, like as we're walking down this and this, but like, yeah, top 10 secrets or whatever it is. How many you want to share with us about stuff that guests probably don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anywhere you want to start on Main Street, USA, whatever comes up to mind.
So number one on the trivia. Do you know which structure or building was the first finished at Disneyland?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the Opera House.
Yeah.
It was the Opera House. It was originally the sawmill.
Yep.
Yes.
So most of the construction of Disneyland throughout the park, the wood, really the Opera House became the go-to for construction of the rest of Disneyland. So it was built first. It was a sawmill.
Yep.
Wow.
And on the side of the building, there's a door that still references employees as opposed to guest members, or cast members rather, and that's kind of a reference to the employees that worked at the sawmill.
Oh, so they've actually kept it there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. See, I love this. Love this.
Like,
okay.
I was like, hey, I know that first one, and then you dropped that one. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. That's
okay.
awesome.
Okay, so it's part of the charm for us to find this door. You're not going to tell us where it is, right?
Oh, it's on the side of the building.
So can you see it now? As any guest can go see it?
Oh, absolutely. It's right next to Mad Hatter, the store there on the side.
Yep.
Okay,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. On the north end?
In that same building, on the opposite side was from opening day was a Bank of America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was there for many years. And if you go inside what is now Disneyana, you'll see the original safe, as well as teller number 5, the window where one of the tellers was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the vault there, but I didn't see the teller number. Is that right?
Not the number. I didn't see the number, but I see the little spot in the vault. Yeah.
Yeah.
The teller window is now the cashier for Disneyana.
Oh.
And if you look up above, it says the number 5.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Love this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now we gotta go.
Yeah.
Just on those 2 or 3 things now, I'm all worked up. All right. Okay.
Now another one. Did you know that there was a police station at Disneyland, similar to the firehouse? On the opposite side of City Hall, there's like a little building there it's not marked in any way right now. But when the park opened, and only opened for about a year, was a police station. Now, obviously not a real police station, but characters dressed as policemen. You can go in there, and they had like a little jail that you could walk in and see, and there was a police station there.
I did not know that. That one I didn't know.
I did not know that.
No.
Yeah.
So
that was.
What is it now? Can you go in there now, or?
No, it's just it was interestingly for many years it was Marty Sklar's office.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
so after, it was his office for a number of years, and now it's just a closed up. I don't know what they use it for now, but you can't access it now.
I'm trying to think. I'm not looking at a map, but if you're walking in on that side, which you don't, I know there's the VIP tours start there. Then there's the,
Yep.
and then is it right after?
Right next to that.
Oh,
right
okay,
next to that.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I was trying to
Okay.
mentally picture where that was. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just always assumed that was part of the courthouse or whatever. Is that the area it's called? Where you go get your buttons?
City Hall.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hall.
Yeah, City. I just thought that was part of City Hall.
Yeah.
So it's on the same building, the City Hall?
It's attached to the same building. It's
Oh.
It's the first building that you come to when you walk in under the left-hand tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Which we never do.
No, I never do, but I know.
Yeah. No, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
And they had dressed up turn of the century policemen that would walk around, and it was pretty cute. There's not a lot out there in terms of information about it, but if you dig deep enough, you can see that.
That's cool.
I wonder what. I'm thinking. Talk about a streetmosphere. I wonder how that would play with a time specific area, uniformed cop walking around Main Street, USA. Would that change anything? It just add to this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
It does just add to it. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like now they probably are like, oh, you don't want somebody like impersonating a police officer, maybe. I don't
Well, they have
know.
one at DCA, don't they?
They have one guy that walks around Buena Vista Street,
Yeah.
but like at Disneyland, they were dressed at the time period. I don't know that you would mistake them
got
for
it.
a real police officer.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm not saying like a real police officer, but someone that.
Like you're saying, dress them in that time
Yes.
period.
Yeah.
That's,
I think it'd be kind of fun.
Or have a character.
Of a character, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a character
You could
walk
have
around
this
in like,
utopia.
or like, yeah, exactly. You could run one of them, or run any of the classic. Run, Goofy. Goofy
Oh my
dressed as a
gosh,
cop
yeah.
would be fun. I think.
Sure. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
So two things now.
Actually, I really like that idea.
We're just full of great ideas today.
Yeah, we are. It's good.
All right. What else we got?
Now another one. So as you're walking down Main Street, there's the little cross street, right? On one side you have Carnation seating area, and then across the way you have what's called Flower Street. And on that little street, there's a couple of carts that are filled with plastic flowers. Well, that's a reference to a flower market. So they used to sell flowers at Disneyland. Now, Flower Market is where the Carnation seating area is now. And they started selling plastic and silk flowers. They weren't real flowers, they were plastic and silk. And during that time, keep in mind, plastic was fairly new. So these plastic flowers were like state of the art. No one had ever seen them before. So it was like a really cool attraction / market where you could buy these plastic flowers and mail them home, to put in a vase, and they would obviously last forever. And it was really a unique thing to Disneyland at the time.
That is cool.
I didn't know that either.
No.
Okay, so they were in the seating where the outdoor for Carnation Cafe is. Yeah, love that area. And as a reference or as a tribute, they moved them across the street in the little carts. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, can you still buy those flowers, or are they just for decoration?
The ones that are there now?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're just decoration.
Yeah.
You can't buy them. They're just plastic flowers that are filling this, cart to make it look nice.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
I've seen that. I didn't know why they were there, but I've seen the cart.
I didn't know why either.
Yeah.
I think that little walkway, isn't there like pickle spears there and bananas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right behind that little stand.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
And then at the end of that street, of course, is the test wall, which many people know about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, also on Main Street, the oldest attraction in the park is on Main Street. Do you know which one it is?
Is it the Penny Arcade, the Nickelodeon? What is that? Why I can't think of the name, but you know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you said attraction. You call that attraction?
Well, it could have been back then.
I'm thinking it could be one of the vehicles.
Well, I'm using attraction in a general sense because that's what they named it at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's in the back of the Penny Arcade. It's called the Orchestron, Welty Orchestron. Welty was the manufacturer of it, and it's the oldest thing in the park. It was built in 1907, and Walt bought it in 1953, and then installed it in the park, and it's been in the park since day one.
Wow.
Is that the thing that will play music, or is that what it does? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you put a quarter in it, and it plays the music.
Isn't there another one?
There is.
There is another one in the park.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
And it's
there is.
Yeah.
It's in Frontierland.
Yeah,
in the shop.
Pioneer Mercantile has it.
But that one is not nearly as old as the original one.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah. No. A lot of people I didn't know that. I figured it was in that area.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've gone and looked at that one, or if I have, it's been a very long time. The one, Frontierland, that one, I mean, that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, that I went and I think it was with Joey, and we kicked it on, and people were like, "What?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this thing works, man."
I didn't. Okay, so that thing's still there. Okay.
That's
Wow.
1907.
Wow.
1907 is when it was built. So some people will argue, and I get the argument. There's two train locomotives that were actually built in the late 1800s, but when Disney bought them, they basically gutted the whole thing out, and it really was just a shell.
Yeah.
And everything under the hood was built by Disney. 1958, 59.
Okay.
So I call the Orchestron the oldest one because it's the least modified.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
and I would agree with that because I mean, you can take a shell and completely it's called a resto mod now. Restore an old car and then make it modern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Didn't know that. See, now I would go check that thing out.
Cool. Yeah. Now I need to go see that again.
And you know what's funny, Metal Mouse, is the other day we were having we were watching football a couple weeks ago at a bar, and one of Udi's friends, one of his workmates was there, and we were talking about going to Disneyland, and we said, and what is he, like 22?
25.
Okay, 25. And he's just like, yeah, I'll go. But I said, dude, look, if we go, you understand something, we're going to be on Main Street for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
I go, there's so much stuff that we have to, we don't have to, but it's important to us to kind of pass down and show you. He just didn't get it and see all this. Now I love this because the Metal Mouse is showing us stuff we didn't even
know. Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
Mark, you did just make me think of the Progressive commercials where it's like
oh,
the guy
don't say
turned
it.
into his dad. But
yeah.
However, in this case, I fully support it.
Yeah.
But I'm picturing the young kid being like, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Don't be like your dad.
Not into Disney, doesn't know, but
yeah,
would turn him into a Disney fan.
Yeah. Well, my dad is not a Disney fan. I'll tell you that. So, but yeah, I totally know what you're saying.
Yeah, I fully support you.
Thank you. All right. We're all derailed here. All right. Oh yeah. So what's up next?
So another one, and this is more of a historic thing than a secret. But when the park originally opened, the stores on Main Street were run by individuals. They were run by separate companies. And over the couple of years there, what was happening is that the stores would start competing with each other for the guests' attention.
Oh.
And up to and including just short of like the spotlights that'd be turning and stuff like that. That each store was trying to grab, especially the food and beverage.
Okay.
They were competing with each other for the guests' dollars and attention. And that upset Walt, because it went against what he was trying to create. Yep. Which in the mid 60s, all the individual store owners went away, and Disney, started to owner operate everything in the park, which is why now essentially everything in the parks is owned and operated by Disney.
Oh,
but that's what was happening back in that time.
Okay. Now I have to ask a question about that then. If the different shops on Main Street were sort of competing, was the design as it is now, where you could basically walk through one on the back and just walk through all the way to the end? Were they all open-ended in the back, or were they separate?
That's a great question. So originally the concept was Walt and the team wanted to feel like a real Main Street. So they liked the idea of individual stores where, when you would come out the door and you'd walk down the street and go to the next one, and it had like a real small town feel where people were going to the individual shops. But that idea really didn't take form because it didn't allow for an efficient way for the guests to move around. So they went with them all being open.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's interesting because had that stayed the same way, that changes Main Street in so many ways.
Yeah.
Like if you imagine individual business owners all competing, all training their own employees, that changes like so much. And then of course the efficiency of the walkways. I think that like definitely speaks to the time as well. And not knowing what Disneyland would fully become.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Because you had essentially a group of people that made movies, and they knew nothing about building or running a theme park.
Right.
But they knew how to make great movies, and they knew how to stage them and things like that. So yeah.
That's awesome.
That really is amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay.
Now, the original, it wasn't called this, but the original idea of Club 33 was on Main Street. What do you know about that?
I know nothing about that one.
I don't either.
I know a little bit, I think, about that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I think I know, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. And it has to do with another room, which I think is still there in the Plaza Inn, that Walt had for special VIP people, head of businesses, and then things like that. But that's as much as I know. That there was something in Plaza Inn that had that sort of feel to it, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
No, you're 100% right.
Oh.
During that time, it was called the Red Wagon Inn. That was the name of the restaurant.
Okay.
And a section of it, was closed off, and it was called the Hideaway. Not officially, but that was the name of it, the Hideaway. Because Walt wanted a place where he could entertain the sponsors and dignitaries and things like that.
Yeah.
And you can still now the room itself is gone.
Oh.
They open it up so there's no individual room there anymore. But if you go to the back of the Plaza Inn, you'll see the door. The door doesn't go anywhere, but the doors are there. It was the only place that sold alcohol at the time, which very similarly, Club 33 until fairly recently was also the only place that you can get alcohol. The biggest difference was the original special dining area was not open to guests, whereas Club 33 you can get a membership, but this was really just for Walt to entertain special people.
Okay, so is that room? Are they using it now as far as the dining room?
Yeah, now it's just part of the Plaza Inn dining room.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember hearing the story, but I never could figure out where it is or was. I just assumed it was still there and closed off. But now that I know, okay.
Yeah. If you walk into the Plaza Inn,
Yep.
it would have been on the left-hand side, where the big picture windows are, because Walt wanted the room to overlook the castle.
Oh.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, but so where are these bonus doors you're talking about? Is it in between there and the bathroom or something, or?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
And that means that we would have all seen them.
We just didn't know we were looking at. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm picturing now the door, I think.
Oh, I
I'm
can't.
pretty sure that that's actually the section I ate in the last time I was at the plaza for character dining.
Yeah,
Because we were on that
probably.
side. Mhm.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, now you know where you were sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere
Yeah.
special.
Okay.
No, see, this is why I love this stuff, because whenever you know, we are shown this, you can connect with Walt. These are my favorite things, you know. Whenever we can do all these things, like, well, Walt was right here, then
Yeah.
you know, Walt would come over here and do that. Hence why I always talk about, you know, why Main Street is so cool. One of the many reasons, but knowing that Walt would walk it up and down, he would be picking up trash, all the things that he was so hands-on. And how many times have we sat at the top of those stairs, going to the train station, turn around and look down at Main Street and go like, Walt stood here, right, probably where we are right now, looking down Main Street, probably knows how many times. So
Right.
I love that stuff. It's so awesome.
Yep.
All these direct ties, man, it's great.
Now, on Main Street is also the only permanent religious symbol.
Oh.
Now, people for holidays, there's religious symbols that come and go, but there's one that's always there. Now, you can argue there's something in the Haunted Mansion that references like the Crusades, and there's some other things, but not in terms of practicing the religion. In Main Street, there's one there. You know what that is?
I don't.
I
So
have
if you're
no
walking,
idea.
if you're walking down Main Street, on the left-hand side, you have the Emporium, right?
Yeah.
And right after the Emporium is a little inset doorway. And that doorway reads, you know, on the glass there, Dr. Benjamin Silverstein.
Okay.
And you know, his practice and things like that. Well, mounted on the door edge there is what's called a mezuzah, and it's part of the Jewish religion. And what that's used for, it holds little scrolls with passages from the Torah. And the Jewish religion, if you were practicing, you would mount that on your entrance door. And that's a reference to that Jewish symbol. It's there all year round.
I did not know that.
No idea about that. Okay.
No.
It was put there in the mid '90s by the president at the time, and he wanted something that kind of represented his religion, and had that installed there. It's kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah. And again, one of the touches that if you're not looking, you can look at and not know what you're looking at.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay. I'm just gonna geek out over here in the corner.
Yeah, no, I love this. I love this realm. This is so cool for us. I mean, thank you for talking to us about this stuff. Man, okay.
Now, on Main Street, you have people are very familiar with the original gas lamps, and they basically line, you know, Main Street all the way down. But if you look at the hub area and the town square area, they're electric lights. And, you know, unless you're looking for it, you would not even pay attention to it.
No.
You wouldn't even recognize it. But the thinking there was, when they were building it, they wanted to obviously represent the time period of Main Street, but also include the transition, because during that time that Main Street represents was kind of a transition from gas-powered lights to electric lights. So all the ones in Town Square and the plaza are electric lights to kind of symbolize that future, you know, the future changes that were going on with small towns at the time.
Never noticed that. No. I just assumed they're all gas.
Well, yeah.
Or, you know, I didn't really assume anything. I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, you don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I just assumed they were all the same.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a really good catch. Huh.
Now, do they look? I mean, they look the same, right? I mean, like.
Well, the gas lamps have that old style look to them with a little flame in it.
Yeah.
Whereas the electric lights are just kind of like a round light.
Yeah.
They're not. I would argue that they probably don't appear to be during that time period in terms of electric lights, but that's kind of what it symbolized.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. I love. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is great stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Now, a lot of people, when they talk about Main Street, often you hear that it was kind of a replication of what Walt lived in Marceline, Missouri, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard that story many times.
Yeah.
If you look at, however, a very influential person on the design of Main Street was one of the Disney legends, Harper Goff. And if you look at, and he drew a lot of the plans, if you look at City Hall, where Harper Goff grew up in Fort Collins, Colorado, the courthouse looks exactly like, well, City Hall looks exactly like the courthouse in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Cool.
So there's a lot of Fort Collins from Harper Goff that is also part of Main Street. There's some of the design and things like that. So it wasn't just Marceline. There's other small towns that are kind of recreated there.
Wow. Okay. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of Marceline and Fort Collins?
Yeah, Fort Collins.
Okay.
As you're saying stuff, I'm finding myself wanting to look back at
Oh, no,
pictures of when I bought,
right.
and then I'm Googling some of the stuff as well, too.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
so interesting.
Yeah, Fort Collins courthouse, and it looks just like our City Hall. Very, very, very similar.
Udi's gonna look for it now with his fancy phone. Oh,
And another,
okay.
I have one more,
Oh, okay.
and a lot of people don't know this, but did you know that the train, I'm including the train as, the train station and the train is part of Main Street.
Yeah, of course.
When the park opened, and for many years after that, the train itself was not owned by Disneyland. It wasn't owned or operated by Disneyland. It was actually owned and operated, even separate employees that were run by WED Enterprise, and specifically Rhett Law, which is Walter spelled backwards. And Walt Disney basically owned the train outright himself, and then later sold it to Disney.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't know that either. So it was a separate company. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
it was a
What was the purpose of that?
Because he wanted control over the design and every aspect of the train. The same with the monorail. He also owned the monorail initially, because he wanted it his way, and operating and the way it looked and everything. He wanted it to be his.
Oh.
So that's why he did it that way. Now, there's if you research some of that, there was a big rift between Walt and Roy over that, and it was kind of a gray area, to be honest with you, because at the time, stockholders were buying Walt Disney Productions stock, and the assumption at the time was that the stockholder was getting all of Disney, and they weren't. They were basically getting Walt Disney Productions, but some aspects were owned by Walt and were not included in the ownership of the stock. And it became a really gray area, and Roy was very much against it because it was borderline misleading on what the company was that you were buying as a stockholder.
Yep, I can see that argument. No, that makes total sense. Like, if you're adding to it, but no, that's not part of the company. That is mine.
Yes.
Yeah, how would you draw that? I mean, modern FCC, right, would be like, no, would be all over that right now.
Oh yeah. Nowadays that would not fly.
Not even remotely close. Yeah. No, that makes total sense.
Yep.
See, yeah.
This is great stuff. I love this. I love this that we can have guests on or not. Well, I'm a guest, but the friend of the show on and talk about this stuff that we just most people don't even realize.
I didn't know that about that either.
No
idea. None.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So a whole separate company.
No, but look, going back into the history of the park, it makes sense that it would be that, and then how it just became how it all had to come. It all eventually had to come to what we have now.
Mm-hmm.
If you really think about it, there was no way that all these little entities could be running around in there. None of it would work out in the long run. I mean, look at
sure.
I mean, it'd be. I mean, can you imagine if Main Street was like downtown Disney with empty storefront because no one can come and move in and take up that space? Can you imagine that? That'd be a nightmare.
But it does make sense for that time.
Yeah.
And when you're new in this game and not knowing what it'll become, and theme parks were so different than what Disneyland became. So it makes sense how that's where their mindset went, and to be able to manage all of it and run everything at that time. It does make sense.
Well, and I think again it speaks to how these guys were pioneering all of it.
Yeah.
They, again, Walt had the vision of hey, I want to do this thing. And then, people, how are we going to do that? I don't know, but let's go.
Let's go.
Yep. Yeah, none of them had any experience in any of that. Yeah.
No.
Just all they had was an imagination.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
There it is.
And a guy who was just a visionary.
Yeah.
That was just this, and probably they didn't want to let him down either.
Yeah.
You brought up the monorail. I know this is beyond Main Street, Jerome, but in my mind, the early versions of the monorail don't they say Disney/Allweg on them or something?
Yeah, that was the original name. It was the company Allweg, which was a German company, helped design that. Again, we're talking about how these guys knew nothing about this kind of stuff.
Right.
So, they would reach out to companies that obviously had knowledge about this type of technology at the time. And just quickly, because it's not really it's not Main Street, but Walt and Lillian went to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw the company's version of a monorail, but it wasn't like the train rode on top of the beam.
Mm-hmm.
It was suspended from the beam up ahead, up above. But Walt loved the idea, and in typical Walt fashion, reached back to the WED team and say, "Hey, can you guys build this?" And they went to work with their imagination. Obviously, from an engineering standpoint, they kind of ran into a brick wall on what they knew how to do. So they reached out to Allweg, who helped them with the engineering and the design of how it would operate in the track and all of that kind of stuff. It got to the point, though, in typical Walt fashion, he wanted it done his way. So he reached out to Bob Gurr, who helped design the actual trains.
Mm-hmm.
The trains themselves looked nothing like anything that Allweg was doing at the time. Allweg just kind of had these boxy looking things that carried people suspended from this beam. Well, here comes Bob Gurr, and he makes it look like this futuristic space age, monorail.
Yeah.
And Allweg, at a certain point, was annoyed because it was like, who are these guys who have no engineering background, who don't know anything, and they were offended by it.
Yeah.
That these artistic guys were telling Allweg how to build this thing.
Oh yeah.
I can absolutely see that.
For sure.
And can you imagine being them where you have all this experience and then someone comes in and they're like, no, I need it this way. You have such a visionary and two totally different mindsets, but both, each great in their own way. That's crazy.
So did Allwig partly own the one in Disneyland, or is that just like a branding, like out of respect sort of thing that they had on?
Yeah, it was a branding because they were involved in the design, and then obviously at a certain point the Allwig name went away.
Yeah.
But they didn't own the monorail. Like I said earlier, it was actually Walt. It was Rhett Law and Wed Enterprises that actually owned the monorail. It wasn't Disney.
Can you imagine, though, Jerome, like right now, if you own just the Disneyland Railroad and the monorail, how much would that be worth?
I know. You can. Oh man.
Yeah.
You can't even quantify. I don't think I can even quantify it.
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, I'm sure there's a value somewhere, but
Yeah.
these are like priceless to me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, it's funny. And I'm not going to go too much about the monorail, but you love the monorail.
I do.
And I think I agree. I love it too. I don't think that thing. I think people just go on it because they want to go.
Yeah, no, you got to. If you're gonna go on it and enjoy the experience. It is something just different that you don't get. It is just the elevation of the park
And the history of it now. Oh my gosh, right?
Like, I didn't know that either. So now you can gain another layer of appreciation for that.
Yes.
Oh man, that is so cool.
And you know, it's very easy to poke fun of Tomorrowland.
Of course.
But I'll tell you, the monorail is probably the only thing in Tomorrowland that still kind of has a futuristic feel to it.
Mhm.
You know?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can say that.
Though we've known it forever, it still does feel futuristic.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we're not riding around that at home.
Right.
No.
Right.
Well, what am I thought you had a. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to
Yes,
go there.
That's how I get.
No
get
speed
the
trains.
kids to
Don't. I'm going to say
school.
speed train.
I know.
I'm going to bring
Not
that
gonna
up. Yeah. Wow. This is enlightening. It makes me want to go to the park like right after the show and to walk around and talk about this stuff. And Jerome probably is.
Yeah.
But okay. Well,
Well, you know, the one thing I forgot, I had written it down, was, you know, the famous Indian that's right there on Main Street.
Yeah.
And most people have seen the Indian, and most people know what it's a reference to.
Yeah.
But it's getting to the point where, you know, the younger generations would wonder, why the heck is there an Indian, just like this random Indian on Main Street?
Mm-hmm.
And so to the point where Disney has now put a plaque on the ground explaining why, you know, the cigar store Indian is there, you know, because that store there was the tobacco shop, and it was the tobacco shop all the way up to like 1990.
Yeah.
You can go in there and buy cigarettes and tobacco tobacco for your pipe. And, you know, it got to the point the younger generations have no clue why the Indian was there.
Well, I'm glad they did that and they didn't remove it, because if they,
Yes.
oh my, yeah, I would
Yes.
prefer. I love it when they do that. We cannot the history, and you know, I get torn because all this history that we're talking about that you're bringing up is like, I would love more people to know, like, hey, but if we did that in Disney, can you imagine, like, we got to put a plaque for this one because we got to tell that story, and then put a plaque for that. The whole place would be plaques because of how
Yes.
much history is layered, and that was only Main Street, and that was not even all of it either.
No.
Not even. We're scratching the surface here, and I just hope people who listen to this, you know, if you're not as plugged into the history of the park, that this gets you fired up and gets you really engaged with that part of the park, and to dig that next layer down to really gain an even higher level, like we are right now. Like, oh, dude, I didn't know that.
No.
And now our appreciation, even though we're well into the parks, is now even elevated.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Thank you for this, because I love this stuff. This is the stuff that I'm constantly harping on, that we need to remember all these cool things.
And that's how you bring Walt back to the park.
100%.
Is you share that history.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we need more of that. And we need, you know, and this is where it always comes down to. I think this is us. This is why we do what we do. This is why you do what you do. We're all in our own way trying to bring Walt deeper into the park and into the zeitgeist, and reminding people it all started with the mouse, and it
Yes.
all started with him and his vision. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I think before the next time I go, though, I need to go through your Instagram and platform and just take note of all the special things. And then I have talking points with all my family members too. Like there's never going to be a time where we don't have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just pointing everything out. It's very cool.
Yeah, I hear that quite frequently. And as a shameless plug, if you enjoy secrets and history of Disneyland specifically, check out my account on Instagram. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's how I found him, and I go, we need this guy on because I think we're the same ilk. We're gonna talk about stuff. And my instincts were right, man.
Yeah.
And when I do see your posts come through, you always have beautiful pictures too.
Oh yeah.
And it
Oh
does
yeah.
just for somebody who can't get down as often either. I love seeing that during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you taking those pictures just on your phone?
Some of them are from myself going to the park and actually taking the pictures, and then some I get off of Google.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, most of the video is shot by me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, you do a great job.
Is that like a hobby of yours or passion? Is it like photography and stuff, or?
It wasn't, but I find myself kind of leaning in that direction. Like right now, I shoot everything on my iPhone. And now I'm looking at some cameras and things like that.
Oh, nice!
So it definitely has kind of spurred a potential hobby in me for sure.
There you go.
Good. Yeah. I mean, I'll just say from the LTP, we hope you keep going in that passion because you got some really good stuff.
Oh yeah, you're great. You're great.
You could become the official photographer of the LTP.
There you go.
Yeah. It's great. It's all wonderful stuff. Yeah, and listeners, we will be continuing this segment. We don't know where the next land is going to be, but we'll let you know. I guess we will. We don't know where it's going to be. It could be random.
Or if anybody has a land that they're really excited to hear some secrets on, maybe they can tell us.
Yes.
And that could maybe be the next place.
Yes, there you go. We'll let the listeners decide, or one of us will if we don't hear anything. But because Jerome's got a wealth of information on all this stuff, and it's like, see, this is how it goes. We started at Main Street, and we could easily start talking about Tomorrowland right now with the monorail segue, and then
keep going.
Then there's this and this, and then see, this is how it's going to be, and I love it.
Yeah.
But we got to just boundaries for ourselves here. Keep them within those.
We put the guardrails up. We already bashed through a couple, but we're coming back. We're coming back.
Yeah, coming back.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is a Mental Mouse. Check him out on his Instagram page, a Mental Mouse, and I will link his name on the show notes when this comes out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another good link too, sorry, as a side note, is if we do have the last episode that Jerome was on as well. If anybody hasn't listened or is a newer listener, I would definitely encourage them to go back because you can hear kind of how he got started as well as what some of your favorite attractions are and areas.
Yes, we did all that.
Yep.
Yes.
Fun show. That was a fun show.
It was.
They all are. But
and if somebody is a newer listener, I know they would love that.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
So how often are you going to the park these days, Jerome?
Twice a week.
Jeez. Nice. Is there any Disney 70th merchandise that you particularly got that you saw that you liked and got yourself?
We were there yesterday. I went with my wife and two friends. The two friends are merch nuts.
Okay.
And they buy everything that's brand new. Like we spend a lot of time on Main Street because they're always shopping.
Nice.
On the other end, I own no Disney merch. I don't wear any of the shirts or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few. I've got one here. I'm wearing the I don't know if this one's even around anymore.
I don't think so.
They came in different colors, but I got black.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I get my fill by I like to spoil my wife with merch. She's got a dozen of the Loungefly bags and the shirts and the hats and stuff like that. But me, no, I don't even have one shirt.
We gotta change that. We gotta get you an LTP shirt.
We need to get one of ours at the bare minimum.
Yeah, we can definitely send you one of ours, man.
Yeah.
You gotta just go pick it out. We will send it to you. Yeah. I'm being serious. 100%.
Go pick one out. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll get it to you.
All right. So we don't know when the next one will be on, but we'll let you know when the Mental Mouse will come on. Oh, you're welcome to come on anytime you like, especially if you want to hang out with us on every other Wednesday night.
On the lounge.
On the LTP Lounge. We delve deep into topics, Disney topics, and we got some good ones coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so where can people find out more information about you, Udi?
You can find me on my Instagram page, which is HAXGOALIE, Haxgoal, and you can DM me there.
Okay.
I respond to all my DMs.
What's going on with
Mando show?
Yeah.
Everybody's, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We have stuff to talk about. I'm just waiting for the boys.
Gotcha. Okay. Becky, where can people find out more information about you?
You can find me on Instagram at Becky_Weimer, BECKY_WEIMER.
Awesome. And we know Jerome. You can go ahead and plug yours again.
Yep.
Yep, it's just at a mental mouse.
A mental mouse. All right. And for us, if you want to send us an email, you can at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at leavingtodaypodcast. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We're a very open and accessible show. So if there's something you want to talk about, please reach out. And then if that's not enough, join us every other Wednesday from 6 to 7 Indie time. We can talk about anything you like, anything you folks like.
Yep.
Disney related.
Yep.
All right. So until then, we love you, adventures out there, and we will see you in the parks.
Bye.
See you.
Jess, what's in your mouth?
What? One more time. I'm going to answer what?
I said, Jess, what's in your mouth?
Actually, I'm not going to answer that.
A new world order, Udi. A new world order.
Don't get me going.
Okay.
No, I will give you one.
Not that one. Pick a different one. God, you're so slow.
Wow, these are smaller than I thought.
That's what she said.
No bed sheets.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I like yelling at you.
You're funny. Ow, that hurt. Don't make me smile like that. Ow.
Snack break.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face red.
Can we do that again?